We welcome you back to the Two Guys Named Chris show and welcome in our official attorney, Lisa Lanier. She goes inside the numbers here on several legal cases every week at this time. Her docket is full today. Hello, Lisa. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I hope you guys are.
Doing really well. Thank you. Here's one for you. I know how you're going to adjudicate on this, but I'm on this. I know how you're going to. You haven't even seen it, but it's late breaking from Canada. A man named Casper Lincoln was arrested in Prince George, British Columbia, earlier this week after driving a pink, child-sized Barbie Jeep on a busy street while drunk. And he said, look, yeah, I did it, but come on, I was going like 3 miles per hour. This is the whole statement that he made, and I agreed with him.
I'm going like 3 clicks. Because like I did my hand signals and everything.
You know, he was saying when he's merging into traffic, but they gave him a DUI anyway. He wanted to get some more. I guess he was Slurpee. He was looking for a Slurpee. Then they made him. The reporter said, "Can you read what they wrote on your citation about the model of vehicle you were driving?"
Model number, Barbie Jeep, color pink.
Lisa, what are we doing here?
Oh, my goodness. Was he using that Slurpee as a mixer? What was the deal?
That sounds pretty refreshing when you're drunk, actually.
Well, I don't know. I think with some Tito's, it might be kind of good.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
And sometimes drinking can, warm you up. Maybe you want to cool down.
He said, I was lazy. I didn't want to walk it. He went on the Barbie Jeep. But that is technically a DUI, correct?
It is, yeah. Just about anything that you drive can be considered, especially if you operate anything on a public highway. Yeah. Even in Canada, where they, are gentle and kind, to people and don't often prosecute people for stuff. They're pretty hard on drinking and driving there. So I think he's in some trouble.
There you have it.
So had he been on his driveway or remained on the sidewalk, Lisa, you think the outcome would have been the same?
No, I think because most of and I assume it's the same in Canada, but like most of the time, your DUI laws talk about operating a vehicle or motorized vehicle or some kind of, they name it umpteen different ways in the definitions, but it usually states on a public highway.
Okay.
So you can mow your lawn drunk.
Yes, you can mow your lawn drunk.
You can mow your lawn drunk, because we debated this earlier in the week. How about...
As many people do, right?
Yeah.
I think,
yeah.
I'm sure.
How about on a golf course, you're driving a golf cart drunk?
If it's private property, you may be okay, but you are going to be in quite a bit of trouble if you hurt someone. So you're probably okay. And again, a lot of people do. A lot of... there's often, the beer girl comes by or whatever, and you have too many, and you're driving your golf cart. So, yeah, it happens all the time. You're probably not going to get a DUI there, but if you do cause an accident, you're going to be responsible for it.
And now, here's one more. When I was about 14, before having any kind of permit or driver's license, of course, I would back my dad's car up and down the driveway to practice. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, good. I was worried about that. Because, see, I think my driver's ed teacher, Coach Hatcher, I think he lied to me. I think because he was saying you are not to do that. You'll get a ticket if you're driving up and down.
Yeah.
If you're on Daddy's farm.
I bet you I can tell that tall boy he'd get arrested driving up and down the driveway.
No, when you're on private property, you can do whatever. I mean, we have kids all the time, that are on four-wheelers, stuff. I have been at our house for years. I learned to drive that way on a farm, driving a truck,
Well, you didn't have Coach Hatcher. Coach Hatcher was pretty tough on us back then. He was.
And he'd be happy to know you're a terrible driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% correct.
Lisa's gotten more than one call.
Yeah.
Lisa told
to
me
make certain citations disappear.
Actually, last time she said, "Don't call me again." This is your last one. Because she had to get involved with the pine straw thing, too.
The pine straw incident, for sure.
Very difficult.
Not driving related.
Now, again, this is outside the United States. A woman in England has gone in front of an employment tribunal that ruled after she called her boss, her words now, not mine, a dickhead. It is not grounds for immediate termination.
Whew.
And they award...
You sure this is from out of the country?
They awarded her £30,000 because she was fired on the spot 3 years ago by her firm, Main Group Services, when she called her boss in a one-off a dickhead.
Face-to-face, email among coworkers?
Let me say face-to-face.
Yeah, I think face-to-face.
That's exactly right.
So one of the reasons that she prevailed here, she actually had a written contract, and that contract stated pretty explicitly, because apparently this happens pretty frequently in the UK, that if she used foul language talking to the boss or in a threatening manner, that she could only be terminated after one warning for doing so, and then she would basically get a second chance. So they did not follow her written contract.
You get one freebie.
Yeah. Well, you got to use it. You got to really plan that
one free dickhead, and then she used it, and she spent it. They weren't treating her fairly, right? But basically, the laws in the UK are very employee friendly for the most part. They have a long history, and that's why this contract has stuff like this in it. They have a long history of this kind of fairness, equality stuff in their employment law. Some of the most favorable employment laws in the world.
Oh, I don't care for that. No.
Fairness, equality.
I don't like this now.
No, I know. Terrible, right?
And
employees should have no power.
100%. And to use that term, dickhead, it's like a coach's challenge in the NFL. You've got one or two, but you've got to save it for the right.
Use it wisely.
Yeah,
yes.
I hope it was worth it. Because he was. I think it was a husband-wife owner, and she called them both dickheads.
Oh.
But in one. But in one fell, she sort of used the y'all are dickheads.
Well, wait a minute. Then I'd say that counts for two. I'd say you got
she
your.
Only used it once. She only used it once. She was like, "You guys are dickheads."
Boy, I don't know.
Now in the U.S., that's insubordination. Yes.
Oh, you would get fired so fast in the U.S. Yeah, and have no recourse.
No, yeah. Only if they hear you.
Only if they hear you. That's right.
Be very careful with that. Back to the U.S., a 77-year-old man in Georgia named George Watson is facing foreclosure after his HOA has fined him almost $15,000 for minor violations, including leaving out a bucket, a ladder, and a pressure washer. He lives on fixed income, $20,000 a year from Social Security, and he's missed months of HOA mail because he didn't want to check his mailbox. This was during the pandemic. He didn't want to walk out there to the mailbox. By the time he opened it, fines and legal fees had gone up so much. And he says, I can't afford this, obviously, so he's still fighting. But you always lose against the HOA, don't you, Lisa?
Absolutely, especially in Georgia, where they have some of the worst laws about HOA power in the country. They can even garnish your wages, which is highly unusual. This guy doesn't have any real wages, but he, it's a little bit suspicious that he missed all these notices, because the actual fines, they were $50 a day. Mm-hmm. And they only amounted to around $2,000. All the rest of it is interest and legal fees, where he just continued to ignore it. And even in Georgia, let's say you missed, up to the $2,000, you missed it, then suddenly you find out about it, they'll usually negotiate with you. Mm-hmm. And so instead of owing like $9,000 that he owes now, he could have negotiated it for something probably under the $2,000 that he was owing. And but they can tell you can't. He's in a condo. He was leaving all this stuff outside his condo.
Yeah.
They can absolutely regulate that, and so they're gonna foreclose on his condo.
I hate it for him, but if we are to take him at his word that he didn't go to his mailbox for how many weeks? What about his other bills?
He said it piled up. Yeah.
But what about his other obligations?
He had no other mail.
Right. It just sounds a little fishy to me. I think he was just probably, thinking they were dickheads.
I agree. I agree. It's reared its ugly head again.
Yeah, right. Again.
And, good segue back to, this is Edinburgh, so back to
Scotland.
Back to Europe.
Scotland.
Yeah. A dental nurse was awarded £25,000 in compensation after a tribunal ruled there she was subjected to bullying and a hostile work environment. Her name is Maureen Howison. And she said she worked in the dentistry field for more than 40 years. And her colleague apparently repeatedly rolled her eyes at her when she would say anything. And that's frowned upon. You hear that, Biggie?
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, one woman would give the other an order or tell her what to do. And this woman said she acted rudely toward me, and she rolled her eyes numerous times. And the lady who had the eyes rolled at her got £25,000 after all this was said and done. Lisa, in the U.S., this would never fly.
No, not eye rolling. I mean, to have a hostile work environment claim in the U.S., it has to be much worse conduct than that.
Yes.
But again, in the EU, which is those laws that all around there, and in Europe, it's very pro-employee. And here, I think the news oversimplified this a little bit. I think it was a little bit more than eye rolling, although that was kind of the headline.
Yep.
I think she said a lot of ugly things to her. She ostracized her. She bullied her. She made her, and she, I think, ganged other people up on her. So it was a little worse than what it sounded like with the eye rolling.
Yeah,
she
said she had panic attacks, and she said it just was the last straw when the eyes were rolled at her. She said, I just cannot take this anymore. That was it.
One last eye roll, and she was out of there.
Did you hear about this lady? This is not in the docket. It's really not a legal issue to it, but yesterday we talked about a woman in Arizona who was on the school board, and she was zooming into a school board meeting where a health instructor was speaking. And apparently the woman was overweight, and on a hot mic without realizing it, she says, I'm supposed to listen to this woman about health. She's morbidly obese.
She was in charge of school nutrition, Lisa.
Yeah.
The obese woman.
Oh.
So they're wanting now. People are saying, this is bullying. We want her fired. We want her out of a job. I don't know. Just an opinion, do you think she'll keep it or not keep her job on the school board, Lisa?
I think she'll probably keep it. I mean, it sounds like, it was probably ugly, right?
Yeah.
To say it, but I mean, not necessarily untrue, to speculate about that.
She was.
I mean,
she was.
Yeah.
It was speculating. She's like, how can I listen to this?
I mean, one has to wonder if you're in charge of nutrition and and you're morbidly obese.
That was Biggie's take.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, that was Biggie's take.
I'll tell you this, Lisa. I looked up this woman's picture and found her, and as I stated yesterday, I know it's impolitic, but I know my own.
Game recognized game, Biggie?
Game recognized game, and even I would be side-eyeing. It'd be kind of like putting me in charge of nutrition.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We're not doing that here, putting you in charge of nutrition.
No.
Another case here, and this is a celebrity case. There's a bankruptcy attorney, one of your own, Lisa, an attorney, Mark S. Zuckerberg. He's in Indianapolis, and he is suing Facebook and Meta because his Facebook account has been shut down so many times because they think he's impersonating Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, the one you've heard of. This guy's name is Mark S. Zuckerberg, and he's saying, what am I supposed to do? This is important to me. I need this Facebook account. I'm a lawyer, and this is my name. So what is he to do? I think he'll win this. Do you, Lisa?
No, I don't think he'll ultimately win the case, but he may win over Meta to allow him to have his Facebook back. Because if you were to read the terms of service, which nobody does when you set up a Facebook account, it says that they own everything and that they win no matter what. I mean, so basically it says that they can do whatever they want to do.
So that's basically
mighty fine lawyering over there at Meta.
Yeah.
Right. But and there's a million other reasons too. They limit their liability to in the terms of service to $100 if something goes wrong. They have an arbitration clause. So you cannot sue them in court. You have to take them to arbitration. And there's actually a federal law called the Common Decency Act that shields them from liability for any decisions that they made in good faith. Like if they really believed he was a copycat, then they're shielded from any liability. Wow. So there's a lot of reasons why if he takes it all the way, he'll lose. But a lot of people, especially on Reddit, I go down these rabbit holes, on these stories, they're all saying that when they exhausted all of the internal Meta appeals to get their page back, they would file in small claims court, and that all of a sudden when they got served and it had to go to their legal department, it would get straightened out. So I'm hoping for this guy that it'll get straightened out just because it gets their attention.
Yes, that would be, yeah. But what's fascinating to me is what you just said. Like, could another company, let's say, this popped into my head, let's say McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, when you sign up for their app, could you read through a bunch of rigmarole and say,
click here to agree.
Right, click here to agree. And what they've said in there is, whatever we do wrong, you can't collect anything except $100. We win no matter what. Basically what you just said about Meta. And that way, anytime I use that app, if I order, even if there's a mouse in my chicken sandwich, I win, or I can't win. Could other companies do that?
Well, some companies are trying to do that. I think we talked about a story before where I think it was the Disney app or some app was trying to say that when something like I think where you went to the park and got injured or something, that if you had agreed to the terms of service in the Disney app or whatever, that you had then waived certain rights. That's still being litigated, but companies are trying it, and it's an interesting thought. I think there may be too much of a disconnect there for it to hold up, but we'll see.
I can't believe this is happening on a day such as this, but earlier, Lisa, and I apologize in advance because this is graphic, but earlier today we referenced a movie that is so heinously graphic that Chris Kelly will not watch and Biggie will not watch.
That's correct.
There's an episode of South Park many years ago in which the boys signed up for Apple iPads or something, and they clicked, and Kyle clicked the accept terms of agreement. Well, what that gave Apple was the right to do was to sew his mouth to someone else's anus.
Lisa.
Which is a human centipede.
I just don't think that's right to put in there in the small print. Now, if you eat at McDonald's, we can sew your mouth to somebody's anus. That's not right.
But hilarious, nonetheless.
Are you enjoying your Big Mac? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I speak to you back here for a minute? You didn't realize it, but when you ate that Big Mac,
you agreed to let us sew your mouth to that guy's anus. That's our manager.
Why would you put that in there? I don't know, but you did it. So
for fun.
I can't believe you didn't read it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're going to have
read that fine print.
Yeah, you've got to read the whole darn thing, it seems.
Yeah.
Then one more story for you. From Jacksonville, Florida. A mom there, Joanna Milliken, says she's going to sue and press charges after her 16-year-old daughter, Nyla, was body slammed by a male teacher during what should have been a fun game of musical chairs at a West Side High School pep rally. I guess they had a pep rally for the first football game of the season. Nyla had bruised ribs and a concussion when the teacher knocked her out of the way and threw her to the ground while the two were competing for a chair. And then the teacher celebrated her win, or the win over her, by dancing in her face. Video has circulated online, and Joanna says this is assault. No student should have to go to the ER after a game of musical chairs. Can she win this? I think the school will wind up paying her medical bills. Am I right, Lisa?
Yeah, I think they will. I mean, this teacher was a big guy, and he body slammed her, and then did a happy dance about it.
Yep.
And it did it in front of the whole school at a pep rally. And meanwhile, she had to be hauled off in an ambulance and taken to the hospital. So yeah, I mean, the rules are that was he negligent? Did he fail to follow safety rules? Pretty sure body slamming a student to win a game is against the safety rules. Pretty sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
In my,
kids are so soft.
So soft. I mean, she did have bruised ribs and a concussion. Okay.
Yeah. It was pretty over the top. It wasn't just shoving, I don't think. You know what I mean? Like, it was not.
Yeah.
It was pretty. This guy really wanted to win.
Yeah, he did.
Sounds like a body slam.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see him. Yeah,
he pretty much just, I think she was about to, from the clip I saw, it was like she was about to get the seat, and he just grabbed her and slammed her to the floor.
Today.
Knocked her out of the Not today, sister.
Not today, right.
You probably couldn't stand her. It's probably like that movie Election where you just couldn't stand the girl and just knock her out of the way.
Crazy flick.
Exactly. Now, for their part, the school has reassigned him to non-student duties. He is no longer allowed to be in front of the students. I used to have a teacher, if like you were starting to fall asleep, he'd throw erasers at you and smack you.
Yeah. Back in the day, they can't do that anymore.
Can they not? That never hurt anybody.
Oh, God, you throw someone a student today? You might as well pack your desk right then.
He would throw it, and it would be covered in chalk, and like my shirt would have chalk all over it, if you started to fall asleep, just threw it at me. Lisa Lanier, this is a tour de force, I think. From Europe all the way back to the United States and a couple of European stories. You've said not your forte, foreign international law, but you nailed it today, as always, Lisa. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend.